These are the 24 most cheating moments in NBA history. And coming in at number 25, Andrew Bogut is so bad at shooting free throws that this happens.
The Great Wall.
What's Jennings doing at the line? You know, I just don't know why Bogut's only a 59% free throw shooter.
Either Brandon Jennings is a cheater or just a really good friend. You tell me. And speaking of cheaters, Jason Kidd is no stranger, because one time he was caught red-handed.
Taking a drink and whoa. These are little coaching secrets that come out.
There are now 3 ways to save time: timeouts, time travel, and spilling drinks on your coach. Well, I'll be damned. However, it's one thing to do this on the sidelines. It's another to secretly sabotage your opponent.
Talked about that effort in Houston. Hawks came roaring back to win. Millsap was incredible that night. As you look,
Paul Millsap threw the ball back to the ref because Dwight Howard, when he came to the sideline, he sprayed some stuff on his hand that made the ball very sticky.
Well, I'll be damned. I'm not sure which is crazier, putting Stickum on the basketball or expecting to get away with it. But do you know what's even crazier? Floppy. Because NBA players get paid millions to play basketball, when half the time they're trying to win Oscars. Yeah, only it's not fooling the NBA, not even close. Because in 2012, the league got so sick of flopping, they started handing out fines. That's not stopping Marcus Smart, because on April 22nd, 2016, this happened.
Crowder? No, and Smart went flying underneath the hoop.
But you thought that was bad? You gotta watch this next flop. Now, making a fool out of yourself is already bad enough. But to top it off, these 2 flops ended up costing Marcus Smart $10,000. But while Marcus Smart's acting skills cost him a car, KD's acting skills actually won his team a playoff game.
It's Durant. Makes a move, lost the ball, tries to get it, saves it, saved inside, outside Curry. 2, out.
Absolutely he's out. Wow. I mean, how do you miss that?
Sheesh. Refs be so memorized by Chef Curry, they miss what's in plain sight. Just like LeBron James, because my man gets away with everything.
Below his career average. KCP gets knocked off the line by Donovan Mitchell.
Redfish, bluefish, 1 foot, 2 foot. That's a goddamn travel. But imagine being up 14 points in the 4th quarter and cheating on purpose.
And that's not allowed. He's the jumper. Right.
Now that's some cold-blooded-ish, but not as cold-blooded as number 18, because one player drew so many fouls, the NBA had to get involved. As from 2018 to 2020, James Harden was averaging double-digit free throw attempts each game. And let's just say, it wasn't a coincidence, because the league realized there were 2 particular moves getting players to the line, time and time again. Jumping into the defender while shooting, and players using their off arm to hook the defender, something Harden knows all too well. So as of the 2021-2022 NBA season, these fouls are no longer fouls, dropping Harden's free throw average from double-digit attempts to 7.7. In other words, my man got violated. Although, let's cut the NBA some slack. They're just trying to make the game more fair, unlike the Philadelphia 76ers.
5 rebounds.
You know what they say, if you can't beat them, use an extra player, or something like that. However, it's one thing to blatantly use 6 players. It's another thing to get away with it.
Into the corner.
So we know the real reason the teams hire NBA players as coaches. Steve Nash. That said, what Rajon Rondo did was even worse.
Nope.
Denied.
No wonder bro can't stay on a team for more than a few years. While Rajon Rondo is trying to steal information, another player is trying to end careers. It was the 2017 playoffs, more specifically, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, between 2 juggernauts, the Spurs and the Warriors. And with 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Spurs led by 21, when Zaza Pachulia did the unthinkable.
Leonard fires from the corner. Leonard goes down again.
Whoa, my G just crossed the line. And get this, he got away with it. Because afterwards, the Warriors came back to win 113-111, while Kawhi was ruled out for the rest of the series. But thankfully, there's now a Zaza rule, so history can't repeat itself. However, now let's rewind 3 years to the 2014 playoffs, to a time when Kendrick Perkins made Mike Miller his bench. Sheesh, there are just some things you can't make up. But is it as bad as what Myers Leonard once did to Patty Mills? Take a look.
Oh, look out. Playing Twister here. Out of the Twister.
Hey, someone needs to tell Leonard this ain't no yoga session. Save that upward dog for later. But anyways, now that we've reached the top 10, these moments are so illegal, you could end up in prison. Starting with the time the entire NBA united against Shaquille O'Neal. See, when Shaq was in his prime, no one could stop him. At 7 feet tall, 325 pounds, dude was a walking bucket. However, all superheroes have their kryptonite, and for Shaq, it was shooting free throws. So much so that when the game was on the line, teams only had one option, fouling him on purpose.
Greg Popovich has decided to go with the hack-a-shot theory near the fourth.
Call it cheap, call it genius. Either way, it works, meaning the NBA had to intervene. So now if a player is fouled away from the ball during the final 2 minutes, they not only get 2 free throws, they also get possession. Damn, the NBA has Shaq's back, just like Shaq also had the people's back. I'm talking raising millions for charity, paying for all his friends to attend college, and even subscribing to the channel. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and maybe Shaq can pay for your college education. But if you think Hack-a-Shaq is bad, I gotta tell you a story, because I'm out there trying to attack the grind. But when it's all over, I don't even have time to eat, let alone go to the grocery store and wait in long checkout lines. That's when I found HelloFresh, because they delivered delicious, chef-crafted recipes right to my doorstep. And they hook it up too, with ingredients that travel from the farm to my home in less than 7 days. But I still face the dilemma. How is this easier than eating out? Well, little did I know that HelloFresh's latest line of meals featured robust flavor and filling portions, which were ready in only 15 to 20 minutes. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed. However, this change hasn't just come in clutch, it's changed my life. Because when I first started using HelloFresh, I was looking like an out-of-shape James Harden. However, now, after a few months, I'm almost as fit as LeBron. And if you want to look like a king, now is a better time than ever. Go to HelloFresh.com and use the code DIME65 for 65% off plus free shipping. You heard me straight. HelloFresh.com and code DIME65 for 65% off plus free shipping. This next moment is serious, because Jonas Valanciunas was just trying to be a good sport, when instead, Caron Butler had other ideas.
But there's no indication they're going to try to get off a shot. Fight! Butler with a takeaway.
Forget sportsmanship. Butler was trying to pad his stats. Hey, Butler, I got an idea. Just cherry pick next time. Just like Harden knows all about Giannis's free throw routine.
Tonight from the stripe. 3 for 3. Pardon me, 2 for 3.
Like his routine, and interestingly, watching as there's the Brooklyn crowd counting out the second.
I don't think he was the holdup that time. Official Courtney Kirkland appeared to be waiting for something. I'm not sure it was Giannis.
Roses are red, violets are blue. And spoiler, Giannis is still shooting free throws. But at number 7, shooting free throws goes from a necessity to a privilege. Because in 1993, one rivalry was taking the world by storm. Shaq versus the backboard.
Last game, Dennis Scott was starting. Bowie was coming off the bench as Hill follows and does bring down the entire backboard.
And if you thought that was bad, I got news for you. It only gets worse. Because less than 3 months later, it happened again. Only this time, the NBA got involved by instituting the no shatter rule, which penalized players for shattering backboards. And let's just say that scared Shaq straight. Just like Paul Pierce is scared of Ron Artest. Since one time, Artest did, well, you'll see.
A little bit of an interesting defensive tactic, yanking the shot.
It's high school PE all over again. Only this time, it was in front of millions. So yeah, the least Artest could do was apologize, right?
I'm so sorry.
Sure seems like your typical high school apology. And speaking of which, Dwight Howard must have been the class clown. Because if there's one thing kids find funny, it's passing gas. Something Howard does a little too much. So much so, Magic coach Stan Van Gundy explicitly banned farting during press conference and shoot-arounds. Only that's not all. Because in addition, the Orlando Magic applied a new policy known as the no flatulence policy, banning all farts in public of any nature. Come on, man. Sometimes a man just gotta let one go. But on a more important note, there's one thing no one respects: tricking the refs.
Not hurting the team and creating a mismatch. He's been able to defend, and he's
not only bringing his shooting, but his overall ability to score.
Refs already have a difficult time calling travels. Now they got to worry about benches too? Well, I'll be damned. But now it's time for the best of the best, because the top 3 moments will blow your mind. And it's only right we start with Dennis Rodman, because Rodman is unapologetically himself. And that's not always a good thing, because when Rodman joined the Mavericks in 1999, it was time for him to pick a new number 69. The only problem? Commissioner David Stern thought it would be a bad look for the NBA. So instead, Rodman simply added 1 to turn 69 into 70. That said, the jersey still somehow got made, allowing Rodman to get the last laugh. But for our number 2 moment, it's time to transition from Dennis Rodman to Russell Westbrook. Because on January 12, 2022, Westbrook wasn't having a bad night shooting, he was having an historically bad night.
Man is hustling.
Westbrook with a deep 3 ball.
Slice it up any way you want. Shooting 0 for 5 from deep and 2 of 14 overall is disastrous. However, the Kings weren't about to let him forget it, as every time he missed a shot, the announcer would say,
If you run with him,
cold as ice. Only it gets worse, since after the game was over, the Kings announced Westbrook would be the ice-cold player of the game by putting his picture on the Jumbotron. These dudes took toxicity to a whole new level. It's almost as bad as getting rickrolled. Now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Scratch that. It's the move you've all been waiting for. The Big Boss Celebration, made popular by 3-time champion Sam Cassell. This celebration has taken over the NBA for better or for worse. It started back in 2004. Since then, NBA superstars like Kobe Bryant also made this celebration their own. Only this was all put to a halt in 2011, once the celebration was banned. However, if you thought that would stop players, guess again. Since in 2021, LeBron James earned a $15K fine for this.
About to get into his action, launches a 3, got him! The King!
My G has some big cojones doing that. And do you know what else doesn't seem to go away? LeBron James. Because 20 years in, our man is still doing things we've never seen before. I'm talking back-to-back spin moves, epic no-look passes, and breaking NBA records people didn't even think were possible to break. These are the 27 times LeBron James went off this season. So what are you waiting for? Click the video, or else LeBron is gonna posterize you next.